Welcome back to another episode of Unlearned and Reborn, a podcast where old habits are unlearned and new ones are reborn. I really discovered that, man, jealousy is that thing. If you are not careful, because I myself have been jealous, if you are not careful, that thing will creep up on you. And before you know it, you are just a nasty, bitter woman. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2. Y'all did a great thing for episode 1, so I do want to give a shout out to y'all and clap it up. Oh, that ain't loud enough. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to y'all though, for real. Like, I really do appreciate all the love and appreciation. And I just want to get right into it. I wanted to have a conversation about confidence. And I said that kind of like uncertain confidence. But no, yes, I want to have a conversation about confidence. And have y'all ever felt like the confident friend out of the friend group and it just didn't seem to really mesh well with the other people around you? Or are you the person that maybe you are a little bit more shy and but you may be a little more shy and you're observant, but you're still sure of yourself, or maybe you still are a little, you're not either one of those people, and maybe you are the person that tends to have the lower self-esteem. All three of those groups of people have one thing in common. They have a confidence level, and it's either high, middle, or low. And even the ones at the high, there's still some things that could be improved upon, and I just wanted to give some pointers and some things that I've personally dealt with in order to work on my confidence. So for me, making friends, of course, was not hard, like I stated in the last episode. Never really a challenge, but keeping them kind of was. And I remember when I was in middle school, I think I was in middle school, or maybe I was in 9th grade. I don't know. The timing is irrelevant. But over the course of a couple of years, it just seemed like I ran into a lot of girls that were jealous of me. And I did not understand why. I'm like, I'm so nice. I'll be your friend. Like, I'm very confused why you're mad. Like, and I would have guy friends, and maybe some of the guy friends were liking me. I don't really know, because I really wasn't trying to date nobody at the time. I'm worried about if you're not the books or the sport that I was playing, or maybe like a extracurricular that's academic, I'm not worried about you, because you boys will be here. Like, I need to get these books. That's how I was in school. And I think my mom had ended up telling me something along the lines of like, it's nothing you can do to make those girls like you. It's something to do with how they feel about themselves, and they aren't really sure how to show it, but they like you, but they're envious of the way that you carry yourself, something along the lines of that. And I was like, okay, and that, I think that's probably around the first time that I had, my first friendship heartbreak. But as I got older, I really started to almost study myself and just study just how other women moved. And I really discovered that, man, jealousy is that thing. If you are not careful, because I myself have been jealous, if you are not careful, that thing will creep up on you. And before you know it, you are just a nasty, bitter woman. Like, and it's not, what do they say? Jealousy is just envy, or I don't know. I should have wrote it down. But I think I heard somebody say something along the lines of like, jealousy is just misplaced admiration or something like that. Like, at first I didn't really understand that, but it's like after having gone through a phase where I was just jealous, I realized I wasn't jealous of the person. I was jealous of what they had. And it made sense of what my mom said, because it's like when you're at a place where you're trying to dig yourself out the hole and you see people passing you, oh, you gonna feel some type of way. it's like biological, that it's just natural for you to be like, you ain't, and it's not even on no like at least on first sight, at first glance, you might not immediately be envious of the person. But I do think if you don't check it even on that first level, it can level up on you so quickly, and you don't even realize. Like, I don't really cook a lot. So I remember when I first got married, and my other friends that are wives, they cooked and they would say, "Oh yeah, girl, I cooked this for my husband." I would be burned inside, y'all. That thing would make me feel some type of way. Like, oh my gosh. Oh. So I remember I would look up videos, and I would try to, okay, I'm gonna make lamb chops. Why in the world would I be trying to make lamb chops, y'all? I don't know, but I'm telling you, when you're at a place where your confidence level is shaky and it's decently low, at that point, I'm trying to up it. I'm looking for validation. I want to make this great home cooked meal so my husband can be like, y'all, my wife, she be cooking and she be doing this, she be doing that. Knowing the whole time I want to order out. Like, I want to order out. Yes, I want to order out. And it took me a couple of years into the marriage for me to really be okay with saying, I don't really like cooking. I don't. I don't. I don't. Like, I did it in the military, and I think that's really why I don't like it today. Like, doing it, because the military had us cooking under pressure, baby. Pressure. Big P. Pressure. They had us out there slaving. Like, out there really pushing the meals out with one cook. And I just think that's really why I cannot. I am so stressed when I cook today. But because I was not secure and my reasoning, I would be so jealous of other women that would cook. Like, I would just be like, dang, like my husband liked that food that they cooked. And I'm like, dang, I wish I could cook that. Like, I wish, I could cook that, and I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. And before you know it, you're just you're just making a laundry list of stuff that's wrong with you and stuff that's so right with them, or stuff that's wrong with them. Because I even went through a phase of that where, okay, I'm like, okay, you know what? That's okay. I don't really like cooking, and you don't really look that great. How about that? Like, I would like try to pick apart other people, and it's not worth it. It is not worth it when all your true issue is, it's a lack of confidence. So you say, okay, Shania, how do I build that confidence? First, try something that I did. I took out a piece of paper, and I drew a line in the middle, and then I said, I put on the left, change, able to change, something like that. I can change. And you got the line in the middle. On the right side, I said I cannot change. Start there. That's the first step. Try the exercise of making that list. So I can change, and I mean, y'all, make it. It might make you laugh, but you need to make it basic, so you can really, your brain can really see this thing. For example, okay, things I cannot change. I cannot change that I'm 5'8". I cannot change that I wear a size 10 shoe. I cannot change that I'm right-handed. I cannot change that I have brown eyes, black hair. Like, just going down, like I said, it sounds silly because obviously, you can't change that you got 10 fingers, 10 toes. Yeah, write all that down, all of that, because it's going to help you. Trust me, it's going to help you. On the stuff that you can change, and don't think too much into it. Go ahead and write down the stuff that you can change. So I found out that the stuff that I was put on there to change, I can change my hairstyle. I can change, I can change my weight. I can change the clothes that I wear. I can change, my attitude. I can change that. I can't cook. I can learn how. I can change, a lot of it. Once I read it back, I mean, the list of the stuff I can change outweighed the list of stuff I can't change. That was the first thing. And then the second thing, on that side, a lot of it was like physical appearance, validation style things. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's not that I I can change that I don't like cooking. It's the fact that I don't like cooking. I'm mad that I don't like cooking. And then now I'm mad at other people that do like cooking. Like, and it's like, once I looked at that list and I was just like, okay, wow. So one, it's a me problem. Like, and that was hard. That was a hard pill to swallow. Like, okay, a lot of this stuff, yes, you can change, but first, it's you. It's you. You're mad at, people for no real good reason. Like, it's you. It's you. And secondly, asking myself, the stuff that I said I can change, do I want to change this for myself or do I want to change this for the benefit of someone else? Because yes, I'm married, so there are some compromises that have to happen in the marriage. But things like cooking, it might ruffle some feathers, but me and my husband, we are good on this. So y'all can say what y'all want to say. I don't have to cook. If he wants me to cook something that he likes, which he does, he'll ask me and I'll cook it. Okay. But I don't have to go out and go get the lamb chop and go get the all this stuff like that you see on MasterChef and dissect this and cut it up like this. I don't have to do all of that. Literally, I said, okay, babe, do you like it when I cook? Oh yeah, I like it when you cook, this dish and that dish. Okay, bet. Okay, so then we compromise. Hello. And then I said, okay, well, when you want that, let me know. And, if I have availability, if I have space to do it, I'll do it. Boom. Check that off the list. And once even with that, like I said, it took me a while to even get to that point, y'all. Even with that, I realized like, okay, first of all, this stuff isn't even that big of a deal. Like cooking? We talking about cooking? Like, this is not that big of a deal. Nobody's dying. Nobody's starving. Nobody's going to die. Like, it's like this stuff is not that big of a deal. Me saying I can lose weight. Okay, but have you gone to the gym? When's the last time you gone to the gym? And it's like, it takes you to really, really like look yourself in the mirror and really talk to yourself, because some of the times we are really faking ourselves out. Like we are really lying to ourselves. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Lying to ourselves and saying that, the world is just so bad. You ever been around people that it's just, oh my gosh, if it's not one thing, it's another. Oh my gosh, just nothing good can happen to me. Like just, it's always like such a negativity cloud that is around them. And that's how it was with me with confidence. It was such a low self-esteem cloud that used to just follow me around. So when for example, on the list, when I said I can lose weight, I gained weight when I had my first son, but then I gained again when I had my second son. But so then what I dealt with there is I wasn't really confident in my new shape. Like I'm like, I have wider hips now. I have a bigger butt now. Like I'm not really confident here. So when I said, okay, I can lose the weight, yes, I can go to the gym. But again, are you losing the weight because you want to? Or is it because you don't, you afraid that people are going to be looking at you like, ugh, like, girl, have you seen yourself? And my husband, he always would hype me up like, babe, I think you look fine. I look you fine. So when I came to the point that I said, okay, I want to lose the weight for me. Now I said, okay. So what can I do? I can go to Planet Fitness. I can go to Crunch. So once I got past the whole, I'm doing it for me now. Okay, now I'm actually doing steps to get that crossed off of my list. Like, okay, I changed it type stuff. Like, okay, boom. But I'm not going to lie. It was not easy at first. This year has been the most consistent I've ever been in the gym. And I've been off and on with the gym since I think 2019, 2020. So it's like it takes time, but if you give the time to the task, it's worth it. Another thing on that list that I had, I mean, just, I can't even remember the list, y'all, but it was just a lot of stuff that I had that I was nitpicking myself about. Like, yeah, I could change my hair, but it's like, okay, why do you want to change your hair? Oh, because I just don't like the style. Okay, well, that's a simple fix. It's like I had to really reset my brain into not thinking so negatively about my confidence. So, and then the second, even the second part to that is that you have to even ask yourself, where did the confidence loss, like what happened? And for me, I know I lost a lot of confidence when I became a mom. Of course, I was so happy to hold my baby and put my baby on my chest, but they do not tell you about those baby blues, about the postpartum depression lasting for months. My first time that I had the postpartum depression, y'all, I think I had that thing for like 6 to 8 months before I even realized that I had postpartum depression. I just remember, like, when my son would cry, I would just be like, I am going to evaporate. Like, I'm going to evaporate, and it's just going to be no more me. Like, that's it. I cannot do this. This is too much. I can't. And it's like, they just don't tell you about that aspect. They don't tell you about, even when you become a wife, your confidence might go down because you see other women, you see other beautiful women around, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't came to the store, with just a t-shirt and jeans, and she's wearing this, and she got the hair, she got the, listen, it might not be y'all, but I'm talking about me, because I don't, y'all might not be there yet, but that's how I was, y'all. That was such an insecure period of my life, and I lost my confidence during that period for sure. But how I gained it back was, because I know I went on a little tangent there, but another way that I gained it back is acknowledging that I lost it and then validating the fact that I lost it. That was huge for me. Acknowledging that I lost it and then validating, like, yes, it's okay that you lost it. It's okay that you gained the 30 pounds when you was pregnant, 40 pounds. I think, y'all, when I had my first son, the last weigh-in, they made, and I hate that they do that. They made me weigh in as I was coming into the hospital to give birth. I was just like, can we not do that right now? But I was 189. The heaviest Shania has ever been in her life, I promise you. And I will never be 189 again. I promise you. I felt like I was carrying a freaking house and it was pulling me from my stomach. It was crazy. But I remember, being in that place. And once I acknowledged that, okay, I do feel insecure about my weight. I feel like a freaking house. And it's okay that I feel like a house because I just gave birth to my son. I can work with that. Okay, now we can work with this because now I know the next step to that is saying, okay, now what? What are my options here? Go to the gym. I was not about to get no weight loss surgery, and I was not about to go under the knife for no BBL, no lipo, no 360. Not doing that. So I said, okay, so gym. Okay, so eating better. Okay, so not laying in the bed for hours at a time. It was little steps, but I'm telling y'all, the little victories, I learned to celebrate those things because I remember when those days I could not get out of the bed, y'all. I remember those days where I could not shower. I remember those days that I could not go out of the house, be away from my son, even though I knew he was kind of driving me nuts, but I still couldn't be away from him. I remember that. I remember all of that. And it's like, it's such a beauty in learning that affected my confidence. But once I acknowledged that it did, validated that it did, I knew how to get it back. Are y'all enjoying this? This is good. Having confidence in yourself, it's key, especially as a woman. Y'all know, like, have you ever took the love language test? I know mine is words of affirmation. Absolutely words of affirmation. And I even had to tell my husband, like, over the years, like, babe, like, I need this, like, exactly this. I've learned that, men, they're going to fix. Yes. So sometimes the fix might not really be what we want as a woman. It may be what we need. Like, okay, babe, well, you told me that, the sink was leaking, so I called somebody to fix it, or I fixed it myself. They don't know that, yes, we want you to fix it, but we also want you to hug us because I just ruined my makeup when I turned on the water faucet and it splashed up in my face. and now I got a wet spot on my new shirt that I was about to go out with. Like, that's how women think. So men, be patient with us. Let's see, what's another way that I learned to be confident? Oh, celebrating other women. I promise you that. Yep. Celebrating other women. That's definitely where I notice, because when I felt what it felt like to compliment someone, it kind of like opened me up to compliments. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's just how it worked for me. Like when I would, because it's like when you compliment, I mean, yeah, you could do the backhand compliment, but I'm talking about genuine confidence. Like when I would say, hey, girl, I like your hair, like I would just feel good about that. And it made me then look at my hair and be like, girl, your hair is cute too. Like not even on no comparison. Like I don't know if it makes sense to y'all, but that's literally what it felt like for me. Like almost like, okay, I want to, because I'm so confident in me, I want to build you up type stuff. Like I want to hype you up. I want to say that you're beautiful, and you are. Like you are beautiful. And it's like I couldn't do that when I was not confident. I could not do that when I was struggling with low self-esteem. I couldn't do it because for me, I couldn't even get the words out because I felt so poopy about my own self. Like I can't even tell you that I feel like you look beautiful and you look amazing because I don't even think that about myself. So now I'm about to go in the car and go cry by myself with my candy. Like so I feel like it just goes to show that when you feel good, you do good. I mean, at least that's how it works for me. Like I don't know if it's the same for y'all, but for sure, confidence, it is like a muscle that has to be worked. And, if you stop working it, it's just like we go to the gym. You stop working it, eventually, the gains is going to go away and you're going to have to start again and get the gains back up. But it's like it's like riding a bike. Once you do it, it's second nature. And even after my heart reset that I had to do to my brain after I came out of that postpartum depression the second time, my brain remembered what it felt like to be confident, y'all. Like I cannot even begin to describe it, but it remembered. Like when I find myself in places where my confidence is trying to go down, I'm looking at YouTube numbers and I'm like, dang, I thought it was gonna, my video was gonna get, these numbers by now, and I feel it declining. It's like my brain goes, hold up, girl. Like remember who you are. Don't sleep. You are still the it girl. Like, give it some time. They're going to know too. Like, it's like when you train your brain to think of you like that, it's going to think of you like that. And it's going to even remind you, like, hold up now. I know in the past we used to cry about this for 15 minutes on end, but baby, you got 5 minutes and you need to pull it together. Like, it's going to stop you in your tracks. And before you know it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, you a whole new person. And especially, not that you should be dependent on it, but I definitely like to gauge my change on how effective my change is on other from what like other people say. Because my love language is words of affirmation. Now, hold on, let's stop there. I only have a certain group of people that I will accept this from, i.e. my husband, like my sisters, my mom, my homegirls. Like, I'm not just out here like, can I get a compliment? Can you put a compliment in my cup? 15 cents, 20 cents, anybody. No, I'm not doing it. But like I have, my circle of people, like, my husband just the other day was like, babe, like, I can see like you've been working out. Like, I can see like, your shape. Like, oh, thank you. Yeah, when he like, like I think they say like people will see the change in you before you do. That's for sure facts with the gym, because you go to the gym and you looking in the mirror and you like, oh my gosh, bro, I don't see no gains. And then here comes somebody like, okay, girl, I see you. Or dang, girl, how much you lift? I remember when it happened to me, y'all, last week, y'all, I could have lifted and gone to glory. Just kidding, God. I'm telling you, that thing made me feel good. I was like, absolutely. That's how I was in my head. But on the outside, I was like, oh, thank you. I try. But inside, I'm like, girl, you don't know. I be up in here working. I be putting in that work. Y'all be playing, and I be slaying them weights, slinging them things around. So it's like, it felt good to know that once I started coming out of that phase, people started to notice. Oh, I felt so good, y'all, because I also felt like on the flip side, people noticed when I was on the down. Like, ooh, girl, I don't know if we want to hang out with you. You always sad. But I mean, I did a good job with hiding it. I will say that. Like, I really didn't even really talk about it a lot. But I mean, it's an aura, it's a vibe. You can still feel it. Like, ooh, might not be her day today. Let's not call. Like, type stuff. So I really do feel like those things really help me. I cherish the process, y'all, because I feel so fortunate enough now that I know for a fact I am a confident woman. Like, you can't, what? Baby, try to knock me down, please. Please try to knock me down, because I'm going to call my husband. And he going to, family-friendly show. He not going to do nothing. My sisters will, though. Especially my older sisters. They going to drag you. And I'm going to watch them. If I can give y'all some takeaways for the video before we leave, make sure that your confidence is grounded in something other than people. I think I mentioned that earlier. That you want to make sure that it's grounded in things like faith. Like, I know my confidence is grounded in God. When people fail me, I know God is going to come through for me. And that really helps me keep going. Because sometimes life gets so hard and I just feel like, okay, I'm trying. And I just cannot break through that wall. Don't worry. Help is on the way. He got you. Another takeaway would be to surround yourself with confident people. Have y'all ever seen the pretty girls that are surrounded with other pretty girls? Hello. But that can also kind of be mean, because then, like, it's like you trying to call somebody else ugly. Like, ooh, we ain't trying to do that. But you know what I mean. Like, birds of a feather flock together. So if you are struggling with low self-esteem and you and your friends, y'all kind of share the same values and stuff like that when y'all are talking, and, they saying that they're low self-esteem, I'm not saying that y'all can't build each other up, but somebody's going to have to eventually, like, come up from the place so that they can then pour back. Because if we're both, like, in a pity party, we probably really not going to get out no time soon. Make sure that you surround yourself with like-minded people. And then the caveat to that is, if you are a person that's confident and then you are around people that are not, just pay attention and make sure that they're not trying to, bring you down. Like I mentioned earlier with the girls, like, you want to make sure that because, you so confident and you got it going on, that, you don't allow people to walk all over you and pull you down and, down talk you and make you any less confident. Because, girl, I've been there, and that's dang near harder to come back from than you just not having confidence in yourself alone. Because it'll make you think that it's something genuinely wrong with you. And it's like, no, it is not you. It is them. And they know it's them, because they go out of their way to try to make you feel some type of way about yourself. And no, we don't do that here. Cut them folks off. They got to go. And just be yourself. Why not? It's too many people on this planet Earth to be trying to mimic and be somebody else. So why not be yourself? Be you. You're cool. You're pretty. You're beautiful. You got style. We love your hair. All of that. And, that's the last takeaway, y'all, I promise. Make sure that you are saying these things to yourself, y'all. I promise y'all. I used to have to look in the mirror. This might be a little TMI, but y'all here, so we're going to talk about it. I used to have to stand in the mirror in my birthday suit, and I would literally say, "You are so beautiful. Girl, look at your curves. Girl, wow. I can see you've been working out." And y'all, at the time, I had been to the gym probably 2 days. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Maybe 2-3 days. Girl, look at your hair. I even went through a phase, y'all, where my hair was falling out because I was so stressed. Like, my hair it wasn't falling out in clumps, but you know how, you washing your hair and you do that, and then you like, hold up, that's a little extra. Yeah, that's how mine used to be. And I would say, girl, you have such beautiful hair. Look at your skin. It's so clear, because I used to have breakouts. I mean, all of that. Like, speaking those things that be not as though they were. Come on, Bible. Come on. That's what I was doing, because I knew I did not feel like that for real. But I said, I cannot keep making this, like keep going through the same motions. Like, I want something different. I want to feel amazing. I want to feel beautiful. I want to feel like how I tell my friends to feel. Because, y'all, I could give the best advice. Tell my friends, oh, do this, feel like this. Oh, girl, you're so beautiful. Give the best advice, but couldn't take my own daggone advice. So it's like I said, I want to feel like that for real. Like, I want to feel like that for real. And I'm telling y'all, when I started speaking that stuff, looking in the mirror and said, girl, you are beautiful. Girl, have you seen you? Girl, like, what? Trying on clothes that I knew used to fit and they, a little tight. What, girl? Look at you. Like, I mean, I used to just speak over myself, and little by little, y'all, that thing started really breaking in my mind, and really, like, I just felt like I created new neural pathways. Like I said earlier, now when I try to say something that don't line up, or say something that's like talking down on myself, my brain is like, hold up, girl. That don't mix with us no more. Like, we don't even know what that is. So we're like firing off, like, what's going on? Is there trouble? Do we need to do something? Like, that's how your brain will come through for you when you are showering it and you are watering it with positivity, love, and care. Okay? Y'all can do that for me, right? Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening in your car, you're at the gym getting lit, make sure you follow the show, because I be seeing y'all be listening and y'all don't follow the show. Nah, what's wrong with that? What's going on? Y'all be watching on YouTube, but y'all not subscribed? Do y'all think I do this for fun? I do, but still, don't let it happen again. Week 3, y'all better be in there. Period. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.